Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are unraveling a narrative that is it's equal parts terrifying and brilliantly constructed. If you're a fan of deep dives into supernatural lore and, high-stakes survival scenarios, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to break down this incredibly gripping story of supernatural horror. It follows Avni, Megha, and their missing friend Rahul, who find themselves trapped in a domain that literally defies all laws of reality. So let's just jump right in and break down the exact mechanics of this curse step by step.
Okay, think about this. What happens when a boy enters a village ruled entirely by women? Now, in a lot of stories, that might be a setup for a romance or maybe a lighthearted comedy, but here? No way. Here, it is an absolute death sentence. See, this isn't some village built on social exclusion. It's literally a fortress. A fortress built for survival against unimaginable demonic forces. Our protagonists arrive in a place where the air, the water, the earth, the whole shebang belongs to this fierce entity. And breaking her one singular rule has catastrophic consequences. Let's see exactly why.
Okay, let's dive into this with part 1, the village's secret.
So it all kicks off with something called Andher Ki Raat, which translates to the moonless night. Now, according to the local elders in the story, this is this extremely rare celestial event that happens exactly once a year. The moon just completely vanishes from the sky, and in that absolute pitch-black darkness, a mystical door to a realm called Garbandar swings wide open. The store basically acts as a gateway for asuras, demons. So the really crucial takeaway here is that on this specific night, the barrier between the human world and the demonic world, it just completely dissolves. It poses a totally lethal danger to anyone who even thinks about stepping outside the front door.
So you might be wondering, how on earth do the villagers actually survive this? Well, they survive by following the incredibly strict laws of goddess Bhoorma. Let's break these down. First up, only women, who are referred to here as Raudri, are permitted to reside in the village safely. Second, those wandering demons we just talked about, they are lured by the sheer scent of the living. Literally, if a woman steps outside on the moonless night, the demons will smell her and instantly invade the homes. And third, any intruder who doesn't belong is instantly trapped by the goddess herself. We're kind of methodically laying the groundwork here, right? Because this perfectly explains why the female members of our exploration team, Avni and Megha, are totally unharmed, just sipping tea with the village elders, while the male member of their team is completely missing.
Which brings us to part 2, the trap of Kal Charkar. And this leads us to one stark, terrifying question. So where is Rahul? Right? Because Avni and Megha realize they're totally fine, since they fit the goddess's criteria for protection. But Rahul, being a guy, he's automatically categorized as an intruder. He's a glitch in this supernatural system. And the girls know he didn't just, wander off into the woods. The village itself literally swallowed him.
Well, the answer to that question comes in the form of an absolute waking nightmare. I told you not to. Imagine this. Avni and Megha are suddenly, inexplicably transported from their beds straight into the village temple. Boom! The heavy wooden doors slam shut right behind them. Lightning violently strikes outside, and it illuminates this terrifying idol of the goddess, Kalbakshini. And then the idol literally speaks to them. Her voice is booming like thunder, warning them that this village is her entire world, her air, her water. And when Megha screams, demanding to know where Rahul is, the goddess just coldly tells them to look into her eyes. And when they actually look into the idol's eyes, they uncover the Kala chakra. Okay, so what is that? It's this mystical, totally inescapable trap held entirely within the goddess's eyes. It's exactly how she deals with demons and consequently how she dealt with Rahul. The craziest part is, the Kala chakra doesn't just lock you in a room. Oh no, it literally separates your soul from your physical body. The goddess gloats that Rahul is trapped in this cycle, and in just a few short days, he's going to achieve mukti. Now, usually that's a concept of liberation, but in this grim context, it means total consumption and permanent death. So the urgency here is absolutely astronomical. His clock is ticking fast.
Moving right along to part 3, Garb, Puran, and Path.
Okay, so to hack an unbreakable curse, you really need to understand its architecture, right? Avni ends up discovering this ancient text called the Garb Puran, and this brilliantly illustrates something absolutely mind-blowing. The map in the text corresponds exactly to the physical layout of the village. Like, the geography perfectly mirrors the physical anatomy of goddess Bhoorma herself. So side A is the village temple they're standing in, but functionally and magically, it represents side B, the goddess's navel, or nabi. They aren't just walking around a spooky village, they are literally standing on and moving through the conceptual body of the deity. Mind-bending, right? Once the girls figure this out, they formulate a really strict blueprint for survival. Let's walk through it. Step 1. Start at the temple, which is the navel. Step 2, they have to physically locate the area of the village representing the goddess's eyes, because that's where Rahul's trapped soul is. Step 3, once they get him, they need to sprint north, heading straight towards the area representing the mouth. Why the mouth? Well, because the mouth is actually the door that opens to the outside world during the moonless night. And finally, step 4, exit through that door before the sun rises and it slams shut for another entire year. It's honestly a beautifully clear, structured visual plan applied to absolute chaotic horror.
This takes us into part 4, soul and body. So the girls step out into the freezing, pitch-black night. And as they start moving towards the eyes, the goddess immediately fights back. She forces them into their ultimate rule of survival. Close your eyes and run directly through your deepest fears. See, the goddess projects these horrifying, hyper-realistic illusions of the girls' own parents, literally begging them to turn back. It's just brilliant psychological warfare, using their own deep attachments right against them. It really highlights the sheer psychological weight of facing your fears in a life-or-death scenario. But actually, Megha realizes something crucial. To survive these mind games, they have to completely surrender their vision. So they close their eyes, hold their breath, and literally run blindly straight through the apparitions of their parents, completely shattering the illusion.
When they finally make it to the eyes, they discover the horrific reality of the Kal Chakra. They are facing a really complex dual problem here. The curse has literally split their friend in two. On one side, his soul is trapped right in front of an Agni Kund, a mystical fire pit. But get this, when Megha tries to grab him, her hand just phases right through his ghostly form. Then, the guardian of the trap reveals that his physical body is actually hidden away in a dark cave that represents the opposite eye. So they can't just grab him and run. Nope, they have to perform this terrifying two-part rescue mission to literally piece Rahul back together.
And that sets the stage for part 5, the final run.
Okay, so the girls do successfully reunite Rahul's soul with his physical body inside that pitch-dark cave. But guys, the clock is relentlessly ticking toward dawn. The escape mission began, they found the soul, they located the body, but a massive threat is still looming. Sunrise. Sunrise means the door closes and they are permanently trapped for a whole year. And standing directly between them and that sunrise is the Bengal trance attack. As they're frantically sprinting north toward the mouth of the goddess, an entire horde of village women suddenly blocks their path. Just imagine this sensory nightmare for a second. These women are standing there, their eyes rolled completely back, glowing pure white. And then, in perfect, terrifying unison, they raise their arms and violently smash their heavy metal bangles together. It's this deafening, rhythmic crashing that basically acts as an auditory weapon. The sound creates a paralyzing trance that just instantly pierces Megha and Avni's minds, freezing them completely in their tracks. And to make matters worse, the goddess Kalbakshini herself starts marching toward them to claim her prisoners.
But wait, right in the heat of the moment, they discover the absolute ultimate loophole. What's really interesting about this slide is, remember what we talked about earlier? The village curses and rules were exclusively designed for women. Therefore, the goddess has absolutely zero supernatural control over male minds. So while Megha and Avni are completely paralyzed by this Bengal trance, Rahul? He is completely unaffected, he is immune. It is just a brilliant subversion of the curse's own rules. The very same gender rule that initially got Rahul separated and trapped in the first place becomes the exact loophole that allows him to take charge, grab the girls and just drag them forward, all while keeping his eyes fixed firmly on the ground.
So, with the goddess literally right on their heels, Rahul spots this glowing, rectangular shape off in the distance. It's the mouth, it's the door, but it's shrinking. The sun is rising fast. It all comes down to one desperate leap through the blinding light. Just as the supernatural doorway is about to snap shut forever, Rahul throws himself and drags Avni and Megha with him right through that blinding threshold. They hit the ground hard, tumbling out onto a paved highway. A super confused truck driver pulls up and asks if they're okay. And just like that, the nightmare abruptly ends. It's replaced by the totally mundane reality of the human world. They actually made it out.
Avni, Megha, and Rahul made it back to the mundane reality of the human world. They survived the impossible. But, I want to leave you with this one thought. They escaped. But is that village still out there, waiting for another moonless night? Because the ancient domain of goddess Bhoorma, the Kala Chakra, and those terrifying rules of Garbhanether, they didn't go anywhere. They're all still out there,
hidden in the dark, just waiting for the moon to disappear once again. Well, thank you so much for exploring this chilling lore with me today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you on the next explainer.